Hello, I haven't made a video in ages and I have some pretty big updates, but I'm really overwhelmed. I've been extremely burnt out. So I just easing back in with a little July TBR because I just want to make something so it doesn't feel like such a big deal to make something. So I'm just gonna make something that's not involved with any kind of reading challenges or anything. But obviously there are some big reading challenges going on, so I will be updating soon. So yeah, this is just like a little July TBR. Um, Obviously, I have the right to never read any of these books, but these are the ones I kind of want to try and read this month. Um, so I currently have two books which I'm still reading from June. Yeah, that was the month before July, that wasn't it? Um, can you see where my brain is at? It's at some kind of weird place. I've been reading this book by James Acaster for about a month. It's called Perfect Sound Whatever. It's about how it's kind of part a memoir and it's part like a book about music. So he's talking about how like listening to the music from 2016 that had come out then, like really helped him during the year 2017. I'm only on page 41 of this book. I don't have a bookmark in it, which is annoying. So yeah, I'm literally only this far in. Not for any reason. I think there'll be like a part about his personal life, and then there'll be a part about music, and the music stuff is maybe not as engaging because I can't listen to the music. Well, I can listen to the music, but I'm not listening to it while I'm reading the book. So then I'm like distracted and go and listen to the music. So I don't know if that's why it's taking me a while. I'm sure that I'm gonna love this book though. So yeah, I just need to crack on with it, and it's okay that it's taking time because if it means that I'm checking out new music, that's kind of the point of this book, really, isn't it? So yeah, that's one that I am bringing into July, having not finished, but that's okay. I also want to read Jerusalem the Golden by Margaret Drabble, which is one of the books that's been on my physical TBR the longest. And I think the reason why I haven't like decluttered it is because I did go to a book signing and get it signed, and it's signed to my name. So it kind of makes me want to really actually try and read it. I just haven't had a moment where I've been like really inspired to pick it up, I'll be really honest with you. One of her other books is like one of my favourite books, and that is The Millstone. So I got that signed as well. And I got a copy of that, which I'm definitely going to keep forever because I just really like that book, and I'll probably reread it like a few more times in my life. Who knows how many more times. So it's okay if I don't end up keeping this, but I would like to read it. So yeah, whether on this is one where I'm like, am I gonna get to this? But I'm doing the TBR spin thing with freshly read books, and this is the book that came up for the July prompt, which was the book out of all the books the book out of all the books I've selected for that, which is 12 books on my TBR that I want to read. And the prompt was the book with the longest title. So at this point, this was the book with the longest title on that list of books. I don't really know much about what it's about, but I think it's about like possibly a girl who's like pretty normal, maybe lower middle class, and then ends up meeting these like fancy upper middle class people in London and becomes part of their life, which in and of itself is a really intriguing idea and one that's been explored by a lot of different authors, but it's the kind of a trope that I enjoy. Yeah, whether or not I read it, I guess you will find out because I will be honest about it. Another book I'm reading, another book I'm kind of bringing into July is Close to the Knives by David Woronowicz. Wonorowicz. Okay, apologies if I fuck that up. Yeah, I'm only on page 38 of this book and I can't even remember what I've read, so I'm going to have to just start it over. I'm going to allow myself to just have a fresh start with this book. But this was the TBR spin book for June, which was author's name falls last alphabetically out of the 12 books, so this was the last one in the alphabet of the author's surnames. Yeah, and this has been on my physical TBR for maybe like for a few years. That's fine. It's not concerning, but I do want to read it because I've been looking forward to reading it. And then I would like to read some more of the Tales of the City books. This is further Tales of the City, the word further's there, which is the third book and is the next one in the series that I need to read. I had originally decided to read more of this series for the series Stairway prompt in the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do this last year, because obviously it's about to restart. But then I just fell into the hole that is Heated Rivalry. But I got a lot of these secondhand and I love these covers, these ones, so cool. So I've got this one, Baby Cakes, they're so cool. Significant Others, Sure of You. That might not be in the right order there. No, it might be. So I've got those for like this, and then I also have a copy of Michael Tolliver Lives, which I found in a charity shop, and this one was published a bit after, which, yeah, Morpin insists this book is not strictly speaking a continuation of Tales of the City. However, a reassuring number of familiar faces appear along the way. So I'm not going to like say this is definitely one I need to read this month, especially because I don't know how like much progress I'll make with these guys, which I'm struggling to pick up right now. But you know, I might read a couple of them. I think what's good about them is that I'm in such burnout at the moment, and these are quite good because they got little vignettes, like you can just read a little bit at a time and that's nice. Also, I just know that I like the writing style of them. I know that it's like nice, I know that it's comforting and it's an amusing read, so I feel kind of like it's something reassuring about that. Another book I could read is this one, Financial Recovery, Developing a Healthy Relationship with Money. I haven't read it yet, but what I really am excited about is that this was a personal recommendation from someone else who has a YouTube channel, and I've completely lost it because this was a long time ago that I was watching it. There's a really good review of this book by this person, and I absolutely really loved their content on YouTube, if it's still on here. Yeah, they really recommended this book, so I'm excited to read it, even though it's probably going to be a bit intense maybe. If you're interested in the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, I'll be making a video about that. But I am hoping to just focus on one square at a time with that this year. So another book I could do would be this Against Memoir by Michelle T. This is a non-fiction, and obviously it's a memoir. I don't know if it's obvious, but it is a memoir. It's just whether or not I fancy reading it after these other non-fiction books. And this one in particular, I think it's going to be really heavy. So it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I'm allowing myself to just sort of be in a mood to read something if I want. But then I went to the library yesterday and got out a load more books, so I'll show you those. I've been wanting to read this George Orwell book, Keep the Aspidistra Flying. Sorry. Which I got from the library. And I'm sure it'll be quite easy to read because I feel like his writing is pretty readable most of the time. I don't think there's been a book where I've really struggled with it. Yeah, so that would be good if I could read that. I've had this out for quite a while, so I'd quite like to read and return it, and it is True Biz by Sarah Novak. I got it out because it's got a deaf character as like the main character, and it looks really interesting. It's set at a deaf school, but it's like literary fiction. There's a prompt on Book Riot's Read Harder Challenge for 2026. Book by a deaf author, and this was like one of their main recommendations, and I read about it and I was like, oh yeah, this looks great. So I'm going to read this. Like I say, it would just be great to get this done because I've had it out for quite a while. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to return it. So maybe I should start it today. Maybe I'll start it today. I also got this book out from the library, What Am I, a Deer by Polly Barton. Looks pretty interesting. It's set in Germany, and I tend to be intrigued by these Fitzcarraldo books. They can be a bit hit or miss for me personally, but you know, high hopes. I also found Green Dot by Madeline Gray, which I think I have felt looked interesting, so I was kind of happy to see it on the shelf. It's just like, you know, another person in their mid-20s or who hates work and, it, you know, is a person. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try it. I also found the second volume of this, but I haven't even read the first one yet, so maybe I should just not even admit to this book being here because it's no good whatsoever if I don't read the first one, which I need to read. So I am going to, you know, I am going to probably try and read the first one first. So yeah, there's quite a lot of books there, probably not going to read all of them, but I will be in touch at the end of the month with a recap of what I did manage to do. I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone's coping. I think the heat wave really knocked me out and I am really struggling. I've been really struggling. In general, nothing to do with YouTube or reading. I'm loving reading still, and I've been wanting to make a video, but I've just had no energy at all. Like, I've been completely burnt out. So this is my dipping my toes back in the water, seeing how it feels, energy thing. And I'm gonna try and not put any pressure on myself to make any specific kind of video and just do little updates and stuff. Maybe if that's interesting to you, you could subscribe, or you could like this video, or you could just press X on YouTube and touch grass, or you could do all three. Yeah, I'm not very well at the moment, but you know, I'll see how it goes. I want to get a video out about how Hercule 2.0 went very soon. Spoiler alert, I did do it. But not today. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.